Officer Ryan had seen countless strange things in his years on the force, but nothing prepared him for the tiny puppy that kept following him for miles. At first, he tried to ignore it. Then he tried to shoo it away, but every time he turned around, the little German Shepherd pup was right there panting softly, staring up at him with eyes full of desperation. Something wasn't right. Why would a puppy refuse to leave a stranger's side? Why would it follow a police officer down a deserted forest path, as if begging him to understand something? When Ryan finally discovered the truth, his knees went weak, his voice cracked, and the tough, stoic officer found himself collapsing to the ground, in tears, because the puppy wasn't just following him, it was leading him to something that would change his life forever. Stay with us. This story will break your heart and heal it. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Officer Ryan Cole had walked this forest trail 100 times before, but today something felt different. The air was quiet, the wind barely whispering through the leaves, and his boots crunched softly against the dirt path. As he moved forward, he couldn't shake the odd feeling that he wasn't alone. A few steps later, he heard tiny footsteps pattering lightly behind him. He turned slowly, expecting a squirrel or maybe a stray cat. Instead, he froze. Standing in the middle of the path was the smallest German Shepherd puppy he had ever seen. Its ears were too big for its head, its paws clumsy, its fur dusty and unkempt. Ryan frowned. "Hey, little guy. Where did you come from?" he murmured. But the puppy didn't run, didn't bark, didn't flinch. It simply stared at him with wide, pleading eyes. He took another step. The puppy took 1, 2. He stopped. The puppy stopped. A soft sigh escaped Ryan's lips. This wasn't normal wandering behavior. The puppy wasn't playing. It was following him on purpose. Ryan slowly crouched down, extending a careful hand toward the tiny pup. "It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you," he whispered. The puppy hesitated, its little body trembling, then shuffled closer as if gathering courage. When Ryan finally scooped it up, he felt dirt clinging to its fur and tiny scratches along its sides. This wasn't just a lost puppy. It looked like it had been through something. The pup let out a soft whimper, then lifted its head and stared past Ryan's shoulder toward the dense trees behind them. Its ears twitched, its breathing quickened, and it struggled gently in his arms, wanting to move in that direction. Ryan's brows knit together. "You want me to follow you? Is that it?" The puppy answered with another urgent cry, twisting until Ryan set it back on the ground. The moment its paws touched the dirt, it bolted toward the woods, stopping only to look back at him. Pleading again, Ryan hesitated only a moment before following the little pup, who darted ahead with surprising speed. Its tiny legs worked frantically, kicking up small puffs of dust as it navigated the narrow forest path. Every few seconds, the puppy would stop, turn its head, and make sure Ryan was still behind it, then sprint forward again with renewed urgency. "What are you trying to show me?" Ryan murmured as he quickened his pace. The deeper they went, the darker and quieter the woods became. Sunlight struggled through the thick canopy, casting long shadows across the uneven ground. The puppy's behavior grew more frantic. It barked softly, tail lowered, weaving around fallen branches and rocks as if it had traveled this path many times before. Ryan's heart tightened. Lost puppies didn't act like guides. They didn't lead people, they hid, cried, or froze. But this one had a mission. As the scent of damp earth thickened, Ryan felt an uneasiness rise in his chest. Something serious waited ahead. Then the puppy suddenly stopped completely, still its tiny body trembling as it stared at a spot deeper. Within the trees, Ryan followed the puppy's trembling gaze, and then he saw it. At first, it looked like just another fallen log, half covered in leaves and dirt. But as he stepped closer, his breath caught in his throat. Lying beside the broken trunk was a full-grown German shepherd, unmoving, sides barely rising, her fur matted with dirt and dried blood. The puppy ran to her instantly, crying out in tiny, painful whimpers. He nudged her snout, pawed at her chest, desperately trying to wake her. The mother opened her eyes just a sliver, enough to acknowledge her pup's presence. Her breathing was shallow, each inhale sounding like a struggle she was losing. Ryan dropped to his knees. "Oh no, girl. What happened to you?" His voice cracked. He gently examined the area and noticed the earth disturbed. The ground split where the log had collapsed. She must have been trying to shield her pups from the fall, giving everything she had left to save them. The puppy pressed its tiny body against her, trembling uncontrollably. The mother weakly nudged the pup toward Ryan, as if urging him to take it. Protect it. Finish what she no longer could. Ryan swallowed hard. Now he understood. This puppy hadn't been following him. It had been begging him. Ryan felt his throat tighten as the mother dog tried to lift her head, only to collapse again. She was exhausted, fading, yet still fighting to make sure her pup was safe. The puppy climbed into Ryan's lap, shaking violently, its tiny cries echoing through the quiet forest. Ryan placed a gentle hand on the mother's side, feeling the unsteady rise and fall of her breaths. "I'm here," he whispered, his voice breaking. "I'll take care of your baby. I swear it." The mother's eyes fluttered open one last time. She looked between Ryan and her pup, and with a soft exhale, her body finally relaxed. Ryan bent his head, tears slipping freely onto the puppy's fur. The little one pressed closer, seeking comfort, clinging to him as if it understood the loss. In that moment, kneeling in the silence of the woods, Ryan made a promise that would change both their lives forever. Ryan carried the trembling puppy out of the forest, cradling it against his chest as if it were the most fragile life in the world. At the vet clinic, the pup received treatment for dehydration, scratches, and shock. Through it all, it never once looked away from Ryan. It followed his voice, his footsteps, even his breath, just like before. A few days later, Ryan signed the adoption papers. He named the puppy Shadow because wherever he went, the pup stayed close behind, refusing to let him out of sight. Months passed, and Shadow grew stronger, faster, more confident. Trainers noticed his intelligence immediately, and soon he began canine training, just like his brave mother would have wanted. Now, Shadow and Officer Ryan patrol side by side. Two lives brought together by tragedy, bound forever by love, loyalty, and destiny.